Well, Pius X boys basketball remains one of the best teams in any class in Nebraska. Their inspiration, a teammate with an infectious optimism who won't play a minute this season.
He just has that energy about him, that charisma that people just love to be around.
He's the happiest kid I've ever met. I know he makes me a better person every time I hang out with him, every time I'm with him.
Strength in his smile, inspiration in an attitude. Hayden Higgins exudes both.
Whenever I need to talk to someone, Hayden's always there for me.
He's one of the most positive individuals, one of the most happiest individuals. Anytime things don't go well, he's always got something to say to me, like, it's going to be okay, coach, we got him next time, or whatever the case is.
It's really cool to be part of a team, even though, I'm not playing basketball, but I'm still helping the team in a way.
A team with one of the most talented senior classes in school history, with an MVP always on the bench.
Since I am in a wheelchair, it is a little bit different and harder to do the stuff that you like. Even if I can't play a sport, I can still participate in it and still get the same things from being on a team and just working together with everyone else in a team.
Hayden has muscular dystrophy, a disease that gradually weakens the muscles. It's forced Hayden to a wheelchair since elementary school.
I was kind of a little bit slower and not able to keep up all the time, but it wasn't, I don't remember it being a huge shock, I don't think.
Now only able to raise his arms a few inches, Hayden still fulfills his team manager duties for the Bulls, keeping stats and mopping the floor at every home game.
He knows every little nook and cranny of the floors that we have here and lets us know what needs to be fixed at any time.
I really don't think of it as a disability, just a way that you get to do stuff differently.
And that kind of optimism has become contagious at Pius X High School.
Everyone at Pius loves Hayden. There's no reason not to. He's the nicest guy.
He lights up the room every time he's there. He's just always fun, always energetic. Just never had a bad day.
Let's go, Charlie.
And it's been that way for 4 years. And this season, Hayden wanted to give back.
I love the shoes. He's really, really good at that.
Sneakers, Hayden customized and signed. Seniors Pete Blumenstock and Austin Jablonski now give Hayden's impact on the team a chance to be seen.
For the shoes, he's like, what do you think of these? And I'm like, those are kind of cool. And he's like, yeah, and then he showed me about 6 other pairs, and I'm like, dang, I'm actually gonna have to get me some of those.
I had to have him sign them, and he has his name in them, and it just reminds me every day that there's always, you can always be in a worse situation, and he just brings out the best in a lot of people.
Proving once again that a smile and the right attitude can go a long way.
You can always just think, man, I'm kind of sore today or something, but if Hayden could be out here, he would be. So you just don't take those things for granted.
Hayden dealt a little bit of a different hand than everybody else had to play with, and to see how he reacts to that. Any adversity that we see on the floor or see in our lives can easily be overcome if we have that kind of attitude that he has.
I could choose not to be involved, and I wouldn't be able to do as much as I wanted, but because I'm involved more, I've gotten to know a lot more people and have had lots more experience working with others and stuff.
Well, Hayden also wanted to mention it won't feel like this is his senior year until after basketball season. As for college, possibly the University of Nebraska-Lincoln to major in either engineering or something related to sports. He might even try to be a manager with the Nebraska basketball or football teams. Welcome back. Much like the Nebraska men's basketball team, the Husker women entered tonight reeling a little bit, but still upset-minded at Purdue. The Big Red looking to avoid that 3-game losing skid. First quarter, Hannah Whitish. Hello from the outside. Huskers by 12 after 1, and more where that came from in the second. Nicaea Alili the deuce, and the Huskers led by 18 points in the second. Purdue would rally a little bit, but then Whitish, her 4th 3 of the night, at the first half buzzer to put the lead back to 8 points, and Whitish far from done. Second half, she went absolutely bonkers, finished with a double-double, 28 points and 12 assists. Then it's Ashton Verbeek, the freshman, a nice game from her as well. 14 points, 9 boards, and when you know you're having a good night, stuff like this happens. Sam Haiby, the laser from half court at the third quarter buzzer. Take another look. Huskers cruising this one, 84-64. Well, when Waverly and Seward girls were scheduled to play, originally it would have been a 1-2 matchup in the rankings. Now it's only a 1 versus 5, but still the same amount of implications all over the place. The Blue Jays and the host for this one tonight. In the second quarter, Cameron Opfer finds Kayla Luby for the layup inside. Opfer on the assist yet again as she finds Hannah Benedict knocking down the 3 ball. Jays up 14 on the top-ranked Vikings. Off the turnover, Alex Danson lays it in for the Vikes, cutting the lead to just 10. Waverly would pull within 6 here. Seward pulls away, though, with Bailey back on the 3. Seward pulls off the upset, 49-38. Same teams on the boys' side of things. It was lit over there in Seward tonight. Jays up 4 after Brett Meyer 3 here early on in the first. Then it's Kelly Vinalik knocking down 3 of his own as the Jays rolling early. Seward on a 9-0 run. Derek Holtdorf on the easy lay-in here. The big fella scoring nicely in transition. Waverly answers, though. Ben Carter kicks it out to Noah Stoddard, who knocks down a huge 3. The Vikings pulling off the upset of the Jays in overtime, 51-48. Southern Nebraska Tournament semifinals. Waverly-Claytonia visiting Centennial. First quarter, Broncos start off on a run. Jacob Bargan, the freshman, rocking the suburbs. On the other end, Husker baseball commit Hunter Cerveni slicing through the defense to put Waverly-Claytonia on the board. Third quarter we go. Look at the baby. The combination that won Centennial State football title, Wyatt Ehlers to Jackson Hirschfeld. It works on the basketball court, too. Then Cooper Guerin with the icing on the cake for Centennial. He led them with 19 points. Broncos win it, going away 62-33. They'll play Milford or Seward in the other semifinal, second quarter. Jacob Height knocking down the triple. Mustangs take a 9-point advantage later in the quarter. A dragging Bragan Meyer streaking to the hoop. He had 31 points in the game. To the fourth we go. Sutton working it inside. Garrett Noose with the crafty reverse layup. Here's Meyer on the offensive end. Once again, spins out of the floater, but a Herculean effort from the senior. Not enough tonight. Sutton wins it 71-60. Ladies' turn. Milford taking on Superior. Milford student section showing out for this one. Second half, the Eagles looking to erase the deficit. Jayla Pollacky drives and finishes with the tough lay-in. Later in the third quarter, great ball movement leads to an open shot by Nevaeh Stauffer. Tie ball game. Husker volleyball commit Kaylin Meyer gets a late bucket for Superior to close the gap, but the Milford's comeback takes the game 38-36. They advance to the championship, and they'll take on either Centennial or the top-seeded Fillmore Central. First half, Fillmore Central on fire. Macy Scott knocking down the 3 to open up a 12-point advantage. Centennial staying in the hunt, though. Hunter Hartshorn drains a 3 of her own from the left wing to cut the deficit going into the second half. Third quarter, more Broncos. Ball finds Kate Hirschfeld, who buries one from the top of the 3. But Fillmore Central, a little too much tonight. Hallie Tees powers through the defenders for the lay-in. Lady Panthers win it 60-42, your final score.
Getting back to the